Good morning, all. Am I audible? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Can anyone tell me how much I have discussed in the last class? I forgot actually. Have I discussed how to check whether a given function is analytic or not? Anyone amongst you? Have I
Yes,
discussed?
sir, you have discussed that.
Cauchy-Riemann equation? Have I discussed?
Uh, yes, sir, Cauchy-Riemann is done.
And what are the conditions for a function to be analytic? Have I discussed that also? No.
Yes.
Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay, so first let me summarize as per you have told. So let me summarize whatever I have discussed till the last class. Then I'll start today's topic. So in the last class, I have discussed how to check whether a function is analytic or not. So for that, I have discussed that there are two conditions. If both are satisfied, then only a function will be analytic. Otherwise, the function will not be analytic. If any one out of these two is not satisfied, then the function will not be analytic. So what are the two conditions? So whenever a function fz is given, it should have real and imaginary part. So let's say u is the real part and v is the imaginary part. So we need to find out the partial derivatives of u and v with respect to x and y. Then if the partial derivative satisfies the Cauchy-Riemann equation, that means del u del x equals to del v del y and del u del y equals to minus del v del x, and all the four partial derivatives are continuous, then we can say that the function will be analytic. So I have given in the last class two examples also where it has been shown that uh, whenever a function is satisfying both the conditions, the function is being analytic at a given point, and whenever the function is not analytic, that means any one out of these two conditions or both the conditions are violated. So I have given one example where I have shown that although the function is satisfying the Cauchy-Riemann equation at origin, that means at z equals to 0, but since all the four partial derivatives are not continuous, so that's why the function will not be analytic. Okay, so today I'll discuss one more important property of complex valued function, that is called as the harmonic function. So let me share my screen first. So can you see the blank screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can.
Okay. So today I'll discuss harmonic function. So then we'll be discussing what is the relationship between harmonic function and analytic function. So harmonic functions is valid for any function of two real variables, not for a complex valued function, but for any function of two real variables. So a function of two variable, let's say fxy, is said to be harmonic if the second order partial derivative of f with respect to x plus second order partial derivative of f with respect to y becomes 0. If both are 0, then we'll be saying that the function is harmonic, otherwise the function is not harmonic. Okay, so for a function fxy, it will be harmonic if it satisfies this condition. So let me give one example. Let us consider a function of two real variable fxy as x square minus y square. So what will be del f del x? The partial derivative of f with respect to x. What will be del f del x?
2x of
Huh?
2x
Then
2x
del 2 f del x 2 means the second order partial derivative of f with respect to x. That means we need to differentiate this partially with respect to x again. What will be del 2 f del x 2?
2 sir
2. And what is del f del y?
minus 2y
Minus 2y. And del 2 f del y 2?
minus 2
Minus 2. So if you add both del 2 f del x 2 plus del 2 f del y 2, it becomes 2 minus 2. So that is 0. So that's why this function is harmonic. Now let me give one more example. Let's say fxy is x square y square. This is fxy, the function of two real variable. What is del f del x? What will be del f del x?
so 2x into y square sir.
2x y square. And del 2 f del x 2?
2y square
2y square. Del f del y?
2y x square
2x square y. And del 2 f del y 2? 2x square.
2x
So if you add both, dy plus del 2 f del x 2, so this becomes 2 into x square plus y square. So this is not equals to 0. So for any arbitrary value of xy, this is not equals to 0. So this is not an harmonic function. So this is not a harmonic function, and this is an harmonic function. Okay, now we will be discussing what is the relationship between a harmonic function and an analytic function, or why we are studying properties of harmonic function. So relationship between harmonic function and analytic function. Okay. So what is the relationship? let's say fz is an analytic function. So fz can be represented in the form of u plus iv. So here u and v both are functions of two variables. Now if a function fz is analytic, then both of its real and imaginary part uxy and vxy are harmonic. That means if a function fz is analytic, then both of its real and imaginary part is harmonic. So I am showing by an example. Let's consider fz equals to z square. So by the previous method which we have studied, that how to show a function is analytic. So you know that both the all the four partial derivatives must satisfy the Cauchy-Riemann equation, as well as they must be continuous. So here if you segregate this in real and imaginary part by putting x plus iy equals to z, so you will be getting, if you segregate the real and imaginary part, you will be getting this. So this is our u, that is our v. So here uxy is x square minus y square, vxy is 2xy. So here you can easily show that this function is analytic because you know that z square is differentiable everywhere. So this function will be analytic function, as well as this will be an inter function. So now uxy is this. So already we have shown that this function x square minus y square is harmonic. So now if we can show that v is harmonic, then we can verify this theorem, because as per this theorem, if a function is harmonic, then both of its real and imaginary part always should be harmonic. So here we are verifying that for v. So what is del v del x? So if v is harmonic, then we need to show del 2 v del x2 plus del 2 v del y2, this is equals to 0. So what is del v del x?
So 2y, sir.
2y. Del v del y?
2x.
2x. Then del 2 v del x2?
0.
0, because this is a function that doesn't contain x. So while we are differentiating with respect to x, this will be treated as constant, so this will be 0. And del 2 v del y2, this will be same 0, because we are differentiating with respect to y, but actually the function is a function with respect to x only, so it will be constant with respect to y. So this derivative will be 0. So del 2 v del x2 plus del 2 v del y2 equals to 0. Okay. So here this is 0. And already we have shown that this is an harmonic function. So here we are verifying that fz is analytic, then uxy and vxy both are harmonic. So the opposite relationship is also true. That means here from that we can generate a useful tool through which we could show that the function fz is analytic. That means let's say uxy is a function of two variables. Two variable, if there exists another function of two variable vxy such that both u and v are harmonic, and del u del x, del u del y, del v del x, del v del y satisfy CR equation, that is del u del x equals to del v del y, del u del y equals to minus del v del x. Okay, then u plus iv, then we can combine u and v in the form of u plus iv, that is equals to fz is an will be an analytic function. So in the previous example we have shown that if a function fz is analytic, then both of its real and imaginary parts should be harmonic. So here the reverse is also true. That means if u is a function, that means x square minus y square is a separate function of two variables, which we have shown that this is harmonic. So for that, if there exists another function vxy, that is let's say 2xy, which is also harmonic, and all the four partial derivatives of u and v satisfies the Cauchy-Riemann equation, then we can combine this u and v in the form of u plus iv. That will give us a complex valued function that will be always an analytic function. So this is another tool to show or to check or verify whether a given function is analytic or not. So apart from the tool that we have studied earlier, that means all the four partial derivatives must satisfy Cauchy-Riemann equation, as well as the four partial derivatives should be continuous. Apart from this thing, if we verify these things also, then also we can show that the function is analytic. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear to all of you? Okay. So then if you have any kind of doubts, you could ask me. If fz equals to u plus iv is analytic, then u and v will be always harmonic. That means del u del x, del v del y, del u del y equals to minus del v del x. Sorry. This harmonic means del 2u del x2 plus del 2u del y2 equals to 0, del 2v del x2 plus is to 0. Then u and v are called as the harmonic conjugate of each other. So both are true. That means if fz is analytic, then u and v will be harmonic, as well as if u and v are two functions which are harmonic, then by combining them we can frame and a complex valued function fz in the form of u plus iv, which will be always an analytic function. So if fz is analytic, then u and v will always be harmonic. That is del 2u del x2 plus del 2u del y2 equals to 0, and del 2v del x2 plus del 2v del y2 will be equals to 0. Then u and v are called as the harmonic conjugate of each other. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just I am giving one example. Say you can remember in the previous day I have shown that fz equals to e to the power z is analytic. So let's say we need to verify that e to the power z is analytic. So in the previous class we have shown that this function is analytic by virtue of the previous necessary and sufficient condition that we have studied. Now by using the property of harmonic function, we are going to show that this is analytic. So how to show? So for that we need to segregate this in real and imaginary parts. So e to the power z means e to the power x plus iy. So that is e to the power x, e to the power iy. So that will be equal to e to the power x cos y plus I sin y. So that is e to the power x cos y, that is our u, plus I to the power x sin y, that is our v. So here uxy is this, and Vxy is this. Okay. So what is the property to show that whether it is harmonic? So if you use a harmonic function and V is another harmonic function, then all these four partial derivatives must satisfy Cauchy-Riemann equation. So here to show that this is harmonic, so this is FZ is analytic, so we need to show that this is harmonic, and all the four partial derivatives of first order satisfies the Cauchy-Riemann equation. So what is del u del x here? What is del u del x?
E to the power x cos y.
Cos y. Del u del y minus u to the power x sin y. Del v del x del v del x
E to the power x sir cos y sir.
e to the power x sin y. Del v del x.
अच्छा, sorry, x
So it
x
will be
sir.
differentiated. Terms which contains y will be kept as constant. And del v del y
E to the power x cos y sir. This will be constant.
the power x cos. Then del 2 u del x2 this should be differentiated with respect to x again.
Yes sir, minus e to the power x sin y.
No, del 2 u del x2, that means this will be differentiated with respect to x again. So terms in y will be constant. That will be
Yes,
del power x cos y.
Power x cos y, yes.
And del 2 u del y2. Del 2 u del y2 means y terms will be differentiated with respect to y partially, x term will be kept as constant to the power x. So derivative of sin y with respect to y will be cos. Similarly, del 2 v del x2 what will be del 2 v del x2?
Sir, e to the power x sin y sir.
E to the power x sin y, yeah. And del 2 v del y2
Minus e to the power x sin y.
minus to the power x sin. So here del 2 u del x2 number 1 plus del 2 u del y2 equals to 0 and del 2 u del 2 v del x2 plus del 2 v del y2 equals to 0. So both u and v are harmonic. Number 2, here you can verify that del u del x equals to del v del y and del u del y equals to minus del v del x, because this is del u del x equals to del v del y and del u del y equals to minus del v del x. That means Cauchy-Riemann equation is satisfied. So here u is a function, that is u, that is v. So for u is harmonic, v is harmonic, as well as all the four partial derivatives satisfying the Cauchy-Riemann equation. So from here we can conclude that u plus iv, we can combine both the harmonic functions together in the form u plus iv, that gives us a function fz, that is nothing but e to the power z, because by segregating e to the power z we have got u and v. So this is analytic. So this is another tool to show or to verify whether a given function is analytic or not. Okay, is that clear?
Yes sir.
Okay, have you all understood?
Yes, sir.
So I want for response from all of you. So if you have any kind of doubts or queries, then without any hesitation you could ask me.
No, sir, there is no doubt.
Okay. Okay. Then in the case of complex valued function, there is a very useful property or useful tool. That means if a function fz is given and it is said that this function is analytic, then you know that whenever we are framing a complex valued function, to frame a complex valued function, we need real part and imaginary part both, provided the imaginary part is not equals to 0. So now if it is given that fz is a function but the function is not defined directly, rather the real part is given. So if the function is analytic, from the real part we can identify the imaginary part. Is that clear or not? Okay, so this is
Hello,
only,
sir.
yeah,
Sir, how can we identify? I'm unable to
yeah, that
understand.
that will be discussed. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
this is only possible if the function complex valued function is analytic. Otherwise, if any arbitrary complex valued function you need to frame where the real or imaginary part, anyone out of these two is given, but another thing you need to identify, it is not possible. But it is only possible if fz is an analytic function. So if fz is an analytic function and it is given that the real part or imaginary part but other is not given, so we can find out the other part also. So there are total three methods. So by using this three method we could identify whether a given function is analytic, we can identify the harmonic conjugate. This is called as the finding of the harmonic conjugate, because I have told that if fz is analytic, then u and v, that means the real part and imaginary part, are called as the harmonic conjugate of each other. Okay, so here how to find out harmonic conjugate? For that there are three methods. So I'm going to today discuss the first method. So first I'm going to discuss the generalized method, then I'll give example. Okay, so u is given, v is unknown. So here u and v are real and imaginary part of an analytic function fz. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, so since we need to identify v, so we'll express v in the form of the total differentiation, del v del x into dx plus del v del y into dy. So I think you have studied this in first semester whenever you have studied the multivariable calculus. That means this is called the total derivative. Total derivative means the partial derivative means we are measuring the rate of change of v with respect to x, we are measuring the rate of change of v with respect to y partially. So total derivative dv means we are measuring the change of v with respect to both x and y. So the change of v with respect to both x and y can be expressed in terms of the partial derivatives of v with respect to x and y. So this is called as a total derivative. So dv can be written in the form of del v del x dx plus del v del y dy. Is that clear or not? Can you remember this?
Yes, sir. Little bit.
Okay. So here del v del x del v del y we can't find out because v is unknown. So since v is unknown, from where we can find del v del x and del v del y? So it is not possible. But it is given that the function fz is analytic. So this, since the function fz is analytic, so v and u will satisfy the Cauchy-Riemann equation. That means del u del y will be equals to del v del del u del x equals to del v del y, and del u del y equals to minus del v del x. So here del v del x will be equals to minus del u del y. So minus del u del y dx, and del v del y equals to del u del x dy. Okay. So why we are replacing? Since u is known, so we can find out del u del x and del u del y easily. So that's why del v del x and del v del y, by using Cauchy-Riemann equation, we are transforming into the partial derivative of del u del y and del u del x. So why we can do so? Because we can do so since u and v are the part of the analytic function fz. That's why we can do so. Is that clear? Is that clear or not?
Yes, sir. Clear
Okay.
actually.
So this is this differential equation. This is a differential equation. So this is written in the form of m dx plus n dy, where m is minus del u del y and n is del u del x. So just tell me what are the conditions for which এখনো চলছে এই এখনো চলছে So here m is del u del y and n is del u del x. Okay. So if it is a differential equation is given in the form of m dx plus n dy, now how to verify whether this is an exact differential equation or not? Can anyone tell me? Can you remember this? So this is a dv. So what is the condition for this differential equation to be exact? You have studied this in second semester. Can anyone tell me? Anyone? Can you tell? Okay, just I am telling, just tell me whether you can remember this or not. Del m del y should be equals to del n del x. If this condition is satisfied, then we say that this differential equation will be exact. Can you remember this or not? Can you remember this? Just respond whether can you remember this or not.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So del m del y equals to del n del x. So here we need to verify. Here m is del u del y, n is del u del x. So here if del m del y del n del x is satisfied, then easily this will be an exact differential equation. Then we can solve this easily. So what will be del m del y here? Del m del y means we need to differentiate this partial with respect to y again. So what will be del m del y? What is del m del y? That means you need to differentiate this partial with respect to y. So that will be the second derivative of y, del 2u del y2. Is that clear or not? Then what is del n del x? Del n del x means you need to differentiate this partially with respect to x again. So del 2u del x2. Is that clear? Is that
Yes,
clear or
sir.
not? Okay. Now, since here u and v are harmonic functions, because u and v are part of an analytic function fz, so u and v both will be harmonic. Since u is harmonic, so del 2u del x2 will be equals to del 2 plus del 2u del y2 will be equals to 0. So del 2u del x2 will be same as minus del 2u del y2, because sum of both is 0. So del 2u del y2 means del m del y, and del 2u del x2 means del n del x. So these both are equal. So that's why this differential equation is always exact. So if a differential equation is exact, then how to solve this? So we'll integrate m with respect to x partially by keeping y fixed. Then we'll integrate only those terms of n with respect to y which doesn't contain x. So if you forget, just go through once the previous semester's note in exact differential equation, it will be clear. So since this differential equation is exact, so we can solve this v very easily to evaluate the value of v. So this is the first method. In that way we can actually solve or identify the imaginary part or real part if another part is given for an analytic function fz. Is that clear? Is that clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes,
next
sir.
class I will give an example. Now let me take your attendance quickly, then I will give the exam codes. Okay, roll number 1, 2, 3, 4,
Present, sir, all three.
4, 5, 6, 7,
Present,
8,
sir.
7 present, 8, 9,
Yes, sir.
10,
Present, sir.
11,
Present, sir.
12, 13, 14, 15,
Yes, sir.
16,
16 present, sir.
17,
17 present, sir.
18,
Present, sir.
19, 20.
Present, sir.
So this is the exam code and this is the link. So just click the link and give the exam code as well as the full enrollment ID. Then you can give the exam. So just someone please verify and let me know whether you can access or not.
Sir, in last part, you have taken del square u by del x square plus del square u by del y square is equal to 0. Why, sir?
Because here fz is analytic, so I have told that if fz is analytic, then u and v will be harmonic. So we are going to
Okay,
find
sir.
an
Yes,
analytic
I
function.
understand.
So u being the real part will be harmonic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just someone please check and let me know whether you can access this right now or not.
Yes, sir. It's working.
Okay, thank you all for attending today's class. Just finish the class test by 10:20. I am leaving. Thank you.